let's bring into the stream Dr. Alice Chen, general internist in Washington, D.C., and former executive director with Doctors for America. It's good to see you, Dr. Chen. Thank you for joining us. We all understand how it's so important to make sure that you and your colleagues on the front lines of the medical centers are inoculated against this vaccine. But I've also been listening to people say it's equally important to inoculate the men and women who are part of our food supply chain in the United States. Do you know if we have enough vaccine, and we're waiting for the CDC to decide, to do all of you, food service folk as well as medical folk, in the first round?
So I think if we add everything together, we know that we need 2 doses of each vaccine in order to vaccinate everybody. I actually don't know the number of people who work in food service, but I do know that at the end of the day, there will be enough vaccines for everybody. It's just a matter of time. And what we need to look at is who is the most high risk, and who do we need to get vaccines to the fastest in order to get all of us back on our feet. Part of the reason that we need to get the healthcare workers all vaccinated is because we have thousands upon thousands of doctors and nurses and other healthcare workers who are out right now because they're either been exposed or they have COVID, and that's really bad on a system that's already very strained.
Dr. Chen, there's certainly the frontline workers and food workers, there's teachers, there's a lot of people that we need to get vaccinated. Beyond that, there are, I don't know, everyday people like myself. I don't know, I'm not on the front lines. I have a job, I've got kids, I can work at home. But we've seen healthcare disparities really laid bare during this time. In the vaccine deployment, do you think that will be an issue, that people with means will be getting the vaccine first, or that this will be distributed equally across the country?
So the reason that we have this board come up with these recommendations is to try to, maximize the degree to which people who need the vaccine the most get the vaccine first. It is a recommendation. It's not mandatory. This recommendation goes out to the governors, and then they decide, and then they pass it along to the hospitals and the mayors. And so I think that, it's important for all of us as an entire national community to recognize that the only way we get back on our feet as a country is if we prioritize the people who need the vaccine first, to get them vaccinated first, because that's going to bring down our rates of COVID and help us sort of rejuvenate our economy as fast as possible. I actually personally, I'm not taking care of patients right now, so I'm with you. I'm in the way back of the pack, and I'm okay with that because I know that my colleagues on the front lines need it more.
As we were coming into the stream at 3 o'clock, there was news that the Department of Transportation's Project Airbridge, which has been moving PPE worldwide, actually, has now got its rules in place for vaccine delivery, and that's going to involve using dry ice on aircraft, which is a whole other issue. What are you most optimistic about from the front lines as a healthcare worker that this is about to begin?
Just that this is about to begin, that we've been waiting for so long. And in this very, very dark winter ahead, I mean, so many people are going to die in the next few months, and that is just heartbreaking. But at least it's not going to be like this in 6 months. It's not going to be like this in a year. We're going to have Thanksgiving again. We're going to have our holidays again. Just knowing that, we already have three vaccines that are manufacturers that are telling us that they have great data. We have 2 that are up for emergency use authorizations. The gears are turning. We're getting the rules today on who should get it first. It is very, very encouraging to see that we're starting to move the machinery to get to the end of this all.
All right. Dr. Alice Chen, general internist in Washington, D.C., and former executive director with Doctors for America. We appreciate your being here. We share your optimism